What's up, everybody? So today I want to talk about something. I broke my own rule, and that is my no new stuff rule. And by no new stuff, I mean if you don't already have it in your stash, then you can go buy it. It can't be in your stash. And if it's not in your stash, you can go buy it. But the loophole is there for a purpose, and I crawled right through the loophole. So this happened, and for about 4 minutes it was look how cute, and then it was okay, but what do I actually do with all of this stuff? If you've ever bought a theme collection, a mystery box, a bundle, or a haul, then you know the exact moment I'm talking about, where you get the stuff and the excitement goes poof after you realize that you don't have a clue of what you're going to do with all of that stuff. So today I'm going to show you exactly how I answered that question. And spoiler, it is not a supplies question at all. Travel memory keeping is genuinely my favorite kind of memory keeping to do, and here's why. The story's already there, it's already chronological, you already know what happened, and you're not inventing anything, you're just putting it together. Which is a very roundabout way of explaining why, when I decided to start traveling again, little trips, big trips, after basically pausing that whole part of my life during the C-19 years, I decided to go digging through my stash for travel supplies and came up with nothing. Well, not really nothing, but not enough to really do any substantial projects. And that's exactly why the loophole I built my no new stuff rule around exists. So I bought this. My first memory box ever, American Crafts, travel themed. And I'll be honest, opening a box you didn't curate yourself is a completely different experience than shopping for yourself. So I laid it all out and then just sat with it. And here's what I realized. The pile doesn't come with a plan. The supplies cannot tell you what to make. The story tells you what to make. So the best thing to do is match the story to your format, or the way I like to think about it is what's the right home for these memories. And for me, that comes down to two questions. Question one is, how long was your trip? Was it a day, a weekend, a week across multiple cities? And then question two is, and be honest with yourself here, how much time do you actually have to make the thing? Answer those two questions, and one of three possible formats is going to raise its hand and make itself apparent to you. So let me show you all three, because everything I needed for all of them was sitting right in the box. For a short trip, a day, a single outing, this is where I go first, a traditional 12 by 12 2-page scrapbooking layout. Now for this one, I'm doing a segment of a road trip that I took recently through the Carolinas. This is the Charlotte segment of my trip. It's a food crawl through the city, which is apparently doing everything it can to earn the foodie town status, and I am completely down with that. I started with a sketch template from Page Maps just so I wasn't going to get that blank page syndrome freeze, and then I used Vicky Bouton Where To Next papers and stickers from the box, which read exactly right for a road trip. It has lots of cool movement and texture to the papers and embellishments. Now for the title, I ran it through my Cricut, and if you want to see exactly how I build titles like this, I've got a whole video on it. Many of you have come to me through that video. That is the title block builder video. I will link to it below, and there's also a link to the title block template, which is in Cricut Design Space for free. Now, because I had a lot to say about this particular trip, I actually pulled a large journaling card from my Project Life stash just so I'd have the real estate for a longer passage instead of trying to squeeze all my thoughts into a single caption. And a quick tip while I'm at it, if you've got more photos than a 2-page spread can hold, that's when you want to bring out your additional photo pockets where you can attach those to your page protector and add as many photos to your heart's content, and it keeps your layout to one spread instead of ballooning into 2, 3, 4, 5 or more. Small confession, I swapped my background papers mid-build, partly because the ones I started with were swallowing the photos, like you couldn't see the photos against the background, And here's the bigger part, though, is that while I love this format, when it comes together, it's generally one of my favorite things to make. But let's be real about what it costs to get there. I second guessed almost every placement on this page, really, like where things went, what to use, whether it worked. I was so deep into the aesthetic that I lost the story for a minute. And that's the trade-off, I think, with this kind of format every single time. Okay, so here's confession number 2. I have unfinished 12 by 12 travel albums. Plural, albums. Because when the trip gets longer, working through this format of 12 by 12 gets slower for me. So when a trip is days long, just a few days long, I reach for something else. Now, when does pocket scrapbooking win? This is my go-to for anything that is days long. A cruise, a road trip with multiple stops like this one, a multi-city trip. Basically, anytime the story has too many chapters for one spread, but I still want it actually finished. Like, I want to finish the album complete, done, put it on the coffee table for everybody to look at, done. Now, this box was a little light on the pocket-specific cards, so what I'm showing you today isn't a full multi-day album. It's just one page using the Paige Evans Adventures collection from the box. And I'm just going to show you what the process can look like. Normally, this format moves fast because the pockets do a lot of the work for you. You slip the photo straight in. There's no placement decisions, no design, agonizing. It's chronological, but you can be ruthless with it because you only want the photos that actually tell the story, not every single photo you took. And the pre-made journaling cards usually double as your embellishments and your journaling spots. And that's the biggest time saver in this whole format. But this box did not give me any of those. So I had to, not any, it just didn't give me enough. So I had to design my own cards for this page, which is exactly the extra step this format is supposed to let you skip. Still doable, but it's just not the full shortcut. And one more trick if you're planning ahead, and I know there are planners out there among you, keep a little journal while you're actually on the trip, and your journaling for pages like this are basically written by the time you get home. So all you have to do when you're ready to do the project is just transcribe everything. And whatever memorabilia you picked up along the way, your ticket stubs, a coaster, your matchbook, whatever, that just slides right in next to the photo it belongs with. Now, I didn't have any memorabilia on this trip because basically most of what we did was sit on the beach. So, but that's just something for you to think about on your own projects. So that's short trips and that's long trips. But this year, I started asking a different question. What about all the little trips, the day trips, the weekends? Do they really need their own album? Do they need a 12 by 12 treatment? Do they really need a pocket treatment? And that's what led me to my third approach, which is now my new favorite thing. And that is what I like to call the Travelogue. This concept is one bound journal, ongoing, home to all of my short trips. Not an album per trip, just one book, mini adventures. It's less formal than a scrapbook page, more portable, and it lets me get looser with materials than I ever would do on a regular 12 by 12 layout. I'm not going to go into a deep dive on it here because it deserves its own video, and it's getting one on my Pages in Progress Creative Journaling channel. So if you would like to check that out, I will leave a link to it in the description here when it is ready. And if you're on my newsletter list, you will also get notified when that video is ready. So if you're not on my list, go ahead and sign up for it at the link below. So 3 approaches, 1 box. Short trip and you love the slow build, do the traditional 12 by 12. Days long trip, a few days long trip, or you just want it done, pocket album. A whole season of little adventures, Travelogue, 1 book. And then it's the 2 questions that help you arrive at the best decision, and that is, how long was the trip and how much time do you have to make an album about it? So tell me in the comments, which one are you? Traditional pages, a pocket album, or are you a Travelogue curious person like me? And confession time, how many unfinished albums do you have? Let me know in the comments. No judgment. Well, no, really. No judgment. Share your number. I'll share mine in the pinned comment. And one last thing, remember, get those photos off your phone. Your trips and travels and adventures deserve better treatment than the phone. All right, I will see you in the next one. Take care.